Well, boys, the richest race in the world has officially gotten all 14 of its post positions finalized. With that, I am going to, in the most quick and simple way possible, describe my thoughts on every single horse in the race and how much of a chance I think they have at winning. I'll try my best not to ramble on. So, without further ado, let's go. So, number one, we have Gold Dream. And Gold Dream, in my opinion, just is another average Japanese runner. You know those kinds of horses. They're really good in Japan, and they win Japanese Dirt Grade 1 races, and then they try going internationally, and very rarely do they succeed. Gold Dream is exactly like that, in my opinion, so a toss. Tacitus is a strong horse, in my opinion. He can really show himself at the highest of levels, such as his second in the Belmont Stakes or his third in the Kentucky Derby. But he is also that kind of horse who simply is really good, but not good enough to win races like this. So I'd say Tacitus is a great place bet, but just no win bet. That just isn't a good idea. Number three is Ben Battle. Ben Battle is one of quite a handful of runners that have experience in Dubai. He has primarily raced on turf his entire life, but decided to change to the dirt surface in his last start. He managed a pretty impressive win in the El Maktoum Challenge Round 2. However, there still is a lot of gray area that we simply don't know about him. It's only one race, and it's a big question on whether that race was just lucky, because the class in that race is significantly weaker than what he's going to be having to deal with today. So, I doubt that he'll have the same sort of luck that he had in the El Maktoum. North America. He's an 8-year-old horse who has done well in Dubai before, but never impresses at the highest level, with a 7th in last year's Dubai World Cup, so easy toss. Gronkowski. He's an interesting case, as he has constantly been making some pretty lukewarm performances recently, especially with 2 well-beaten thirds in his last 2 starts. However, he always shows off his best when he runs against the best. He was second behind Triple Crown winner Justify in the Belmont Stakes, and second behind dual Dubai World Cup champion Thunder Snow. So, I'm going to go with my gut here and say that those races were simply just warm-ups for what he's about to show off in the Saudi Cup, and that he'll continue this sort of consistent streak. I'd say he's a decent place bet, but a little bit of a risky choice. Midnight Bisou. She was amazing last year, but this is not a race she'll win. If you saw my Breeders' Cup analysis video, you'll remember how much I was not hopeful for a late beating the boys. This is honestly no different. Midnight Bisou is a great horse, but the mares she was racing against last year, while far from untalented horses, they're just not this. Maximum Security. He's the easy go-to pick for this race, and I don't blame him. While I wasn't a huge fan of him at the beginning of the year, his wins in the Haskell and the Cigar Mile have helped him earn my respect, and now I can easily see him being a key contender for Horse of the Year in 2020. Honestly, I think as long as he doesn't run into anybody and get disqualified, then I think he's got this race in the bag. Mucho Gusto. A lot of people are pretty hyped about him, especially after his win in the Pegasus World Cup, but I'd say that a quarter of a mile simply is just too far out of his comfort zone. He's consistently done better at a mile and an eighth, but at the same time, the Pegasus World Cup was a pretty weak field. This is absolutely just top class. Far from the Pegasus World Cup field that Mucho Gusto defeated. So I'd say that he's still a toss for me. He really had it easy in the Pegasus World Cup, and I think more people should recognize that. Mackenzie. Mackenzie is very similar to Tacitus in that he is a good horse, but he's just shy of being great. He is simply a great place bet, just like Tacitus, but when it comes to these kinds of giant classic races, he's just the kind of horse that simply just isn't cut out to win. He can finish well, but he's not a winner at all. Beryl is the other Japanese runner in this field. He is probably more impressive than Gold Dream. He's a perfect 6 for 6. But like Gold Dream, the change from Japanese dirt to Saudi Arabian dirt, and the huge spike in class, I think it's very simple and very easy to say that his undefeated record will be no more by Saturday. He just is not the kind of horse that will win this kind of race. It's that simple. Great Scott. He's 50 to 1, and even his trainer admitted that he's probably not going to win this race. Toss. Magic Wand. She's been pretty good all year last year, running in the greatest races internationally on the turf, but she's never raced on the dirt. Toss. Capizano had a really easy trip in his last start in the Firebreak Stakes, really likes an easy, uncontested lead. Simply is just not going to get that trip. Toss. And lastly, My Jack. He is kind of like most horses from South America when they come to America. He was really good against featherweight horses in his home country of Saudi Arabia, but these are heavyweight horses, and he simply is no match for them. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick analysis video. Comment down the horses that you'll be picking for the Saudi Cup. For me, I'm simply gonna go with the basics. Maximum security for the win with Mackenzie, Tacitus, and Gronkowski in the place bets. Comment down which horses you'll be picking for the Saudi Cup, and see you guys next time.